Hi everyone, I'm Scott Homan. I'm the writer and director of Witness Underground, a documentary film about a group of musicians inside of a cult. Culture of the music scene becomes an exit conduit for the people to leave this said cult.
And I'm Ryan Sutter, the proprietor of Nuclear Gopher Productions. I'm here because I am one of the featured subjects in the Witness Underground documentary because I'm a musician and artist and also the co-founder of a Jehovah's Witness independent record label back in the 90s called Nuclear Gopher, which is the source of much of what is covered in the documentary, and really excited to be able to not just have this documentary there, but also to be bringing Nuclear Gopher back into the world, bringing music out again, and getting ready to perform some of this stuff for the first time in many, many years at a showing of this awesome movie. So I'm pretty excited. I play in a band called Awkward Bodies, and I am here in the Nuclear Gopher recording studio, or at least the current iteration of it.
I also write, direct, and edited all the content season 1 and 2 of what's called XJW Coming Out, which are coming out stories of artists especially who've left the Jehovah's Witnesses and what their lives are like through that exit, what they've been up to ever since they left. It's a big transition. So if you're interested in that kind of topic, please sign up at witnessunderground.com. There's a pop-up that will allow you to sign up your email to get news about our film, news about film festivals, because each region that we've got accepted to will have different dates and times where you can watch the film. A lot of them are virtual. There's one big one coming up that's in person called Sound Unseen. If you like the project, you want to support it, we're doing a special thing right now for October. So everyone through October, if you sign up for $1, you'll get the soundtrack for the XW Coming Out series, which features a band called High TV that formed after leaving the religion. And three of the 4 members are former Jehovah's Witnesses, and their music's amazing. They're a rock band. You get a download of all those songs. I think it's a 6-song EP. And for anyone who signs up at the worldly level for $20, I will send you a ticket to watch the film at the Portland Film Festival, or the Sound Unseen Film Festival is coming up. The Patreon is patreon.com XJWDOC, 6 letters. It means Ex Jehovah's Witness Documentary, XJW Doc. So the 4 film festivals that are coming up, one just started last week called Portland Film Festival. It's a big deal, really good for independent filmmakers. It runs from October 6th to November 8th. The next one that's coming up is in the middle of that festival are 2. One's called the Vinci International Film Festival at the California Film Festival. It'll be geo-blocked to here, where I'm living in California. It's 10th to the 15th of October. Peachtree Village International Film Festival is the 21st to 24th, and that's like a Southeast regional. It's Georgia-based. Peachtree Village is part of near Atlanta, or part of Atlanta. So it'll be Southeast regional, probably geo-blocked to Georgia, and maybe Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, something like that. We'll get updated on that soon. And then Sound Unseen is in Minnesota in person, but also Texas as well, but virtually mid-November. So November 12th in Minneapolis, we're doing an in-person screening, which is a huge deal for us. That's easily like the most exciting thing that we've got going on coming up. It's going to be an in-person festival screening at the Women's Club, 6:30 p.m. on November 12th, a Friday night. Huge like headlining marquee event for Sound Unseen. And they really worked with us a lot over the last few months to plan that. And they've asked all the artists in the film, all these Jehovah's Witnesses, to come play live. And so there's going to be 3 bands, which is super exciting. All bands that have written and performed after leaving the religion. So that features High TV, same as which I've been working with for many years, like 7 or 8 years. And then Ryan Sutter and the Awkward Bodies, which is a local Minnesota band as well. And they're playing a bunch of stuff that's never been performed live before. And also Puff Puff is getting back together, which is a really big deal. They're the special guest, which is really exciting. It's an all-female band that you can look them up, but I have the links for them. Anyway, that's a huge deal. Come out if you can, if you're in that region. And then I just launched a new teaser, so please check that out. It's a little mix of a couple things I've done before, but Portland asked us to make something that's like a Meet the Directors kind of piece. It's 1 minute long. That's fun. Really kind of wild experimental stuff I did in that. And then we're putting together a vinyl pre-sale for like a music that's in the film, original, like high quality vinyl. It takes a long time to have those mixed and also put together. But if you're interested in getting a vinyl that's like our kickoff launch of Nuclear Gopher's wing of making merch for bands, that will be this piece of vinyl that will really support the film and Nuclear Gopher's ambitious kickoff restart. That's a 2022 thing, 2022 launch. Watch out for the vinyl pre-sale. We're also doing some t-shirts that'll be on sale digitally and also in person in the Minnesota Fest. If you're listening to this, we have a weekly podcast that Ryan and I are doing. We're bringing on guests now that are other artists who are ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, and turns out there's a lot of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses really branched out and became amazing professional musicians and artists. So stay tuned for that. Next week we have Wesley David, and he'll probably be on as a regular guest. He's a cool guy right here. I met him in the last year here in LA. Nuclear Gopher is a really special music scene, and it's not the only one. There's a big community connection to the Chicago Jehovah's Witness music scene at the time in the 90s. I just learned about one that was like a Portland-based or Oregon, Northwest Coast-based Jehovah's Witness music scene. And what's interesting about that scene is that it's not a religious music scene, even though obviously it sounds like it's in a cult, it's in a religion. They must write things about God, but that was off limits. So it's all their music's super secular, and they had all these weird limitations on them. So they did a lot of creative stuff. So I'm super curious about learning about that one. I also just learned from the XW Reddit about a Sydney Jehovah's Witness music scene from the same era, and some Brisbane connection. I have been reached out to by Australian former Witness bands. There's just a lot of interesting people that are coming out of the woodwork and reaching out to me. Even there's a Canadian, a Montreal artist who's reached out to me recently. We're probably going to connect with her soon. A couple of highlights in the first episode here. Ryan and I get right into it, but we talk about a really big news for the film, Witness Underground, that we hired a producer's rep. And a producer's rep is a really big deal for helping get distribution. That's been our big goal. We want this not only to get, like if I put it on YouTube, it could just die because it doesn't get any publicity. And so if you get a distribution company, they're going to put a bunch of effort into publicizing it and highlighting it because they want it to generate revenue by getting seen on any platform. By hiring Alex Noah at Blood, Sweat, Honey, which is a really, really big deal. That's the Big Lebowski connected Jeff Dowd company. And he's just really well respected in the industry. And he's been so awesome to work with so far. We just signed the contract last week, so it's a big celebration. I poured myself a couple of drinks that night last week, and it's been really busy, but also really excited that that's happening. Enjoy the show. Let us know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and there's a bell, I guess, that people are supposed to click. Thanks for listening to the show.
So what I wanted to mention was back in 2008.
Yeah,
I was playing with so before High TV for a little while. Cindy Iverson was playing her, and this was before her and Eric were married. So these were pure Cindy Ivy shows. Well, Cindy was playing her own solo material, and we were playing with me. Cheers.
cheers.
It was myself on bass. Ivy was playing guitar and vocals. Eric was drumming, and we also had two other people playing with us. We had somebody who was playing the violin, and we had somebody playing the lap steel. It was
Oh, wow.
Sean Troth from Enemy Planes. So we did a bunch of shows over the course of like a summer. I don't know, but I was road tripping last week, and I put the shuffle play on my reconstructed 1 terabyte SSD iPod, and which was a really cool project.
I saw your post about that project. You hacked it and put something like Anapod, but some other like non-Apple version of the software that emulates Apple or something.
Yeah, the software that's running on it is Rockbox, because that was the only way to address the entire terabyte of the SSD. Right. But anyways, so I hit shuffle, and what comes up? A practice tape from that 2008 set of gigs.
Oh, wow, cool.
And I was like, oh, I remember. Okay, cool. So then I listened, and I didn't remember most of the songs, right? Because they were never recorded, but they were 13 years ago. And it turned out there's a duet. Well, it's not really a duet. It was Cindy's song, but it's called By Your Side. And I am singing the backup vocal on it. And we do this little harmony where we're singing this part. And I was like, oh my God, I remember. I love this song. This is a really good song. So now I'm going to try and see if Ivy wants to play it at the show in November. So we might we might have a song rescued from the scrap heap 13 years later, thanks to the practice tapes that I never listened to.
You know, I've never done that when I was in bands. Even when we had the gear, we never recorded our practice sessions. Is that common? Do you always do that, or does someone do that?
Um, I would have to say, yeah. I mean, of the last 3 or 4 bands I've been in, we almost 100% of the time record practices.
Is it just so like something super cool happens during like a jam or someone does something special, you don't want to forget it, or you're too drunk from practice, so you might lose the edge or something later?
I feel like it's more like how you record it, why you decide to record a Zoom meeting. It's so that later when you've made like creative decisions in the space of practice, you have sort of a reminder of it.
Hmm.
That's my guess. I don't usually reference the practice tapes, but um they almost always exist. Jesse in Awkward Bodies, Jesse always tapes every practice, and Eric loves mixing. So Eric
Oh
loves
wow.
having anything to mix. So we get done with our first practice ever with Eric, and he was like, "So, could I get my hands on those practice tapes? I really would like those practice tapes.
Love
I've
that.
got some new plugins I want to play with."
Wow.
And so yeah, I've found that the practice tapes can be super useful when you're like, I don't know, you're doing a new song or you're doing an existing song, you're working on a new material,
Hmm.
and you all collectively decide that, like, oh, we're gonna stay on this note an extra measure as we transition from the verse to the chorus. And then you'll all forget that. But you'll refresh your brain by listening to the practice tapes just before practice. And I never do, so my brain's never fresh. I'm bad at banding.
How many bands are you in right now?
I'm just in one right now. I'm in Awkward
And
Bodies.
and pre-COVID?
Pre-COVID, I mean, I was I'm only really in one like long-term relationship band at a time, and then I occasionally sit in with other bands.
Gotcha.
So like since COVID, like I've been in Awkward Bodies for about 3 years now, and um I have also done gigs with like 3 or 4 other different lineups of different people for different things.
So you're in an open relationship, but you're both really satisfied.
Yes, musically it is an open relationship. If honestly, a lot of the stuff that I do isn't even really bands. It's just it's like temporary bands. Jesse runs the and I'll put in a plug for it, the really awesome rock camp experience for people in the Twin Cities area who want to play rock band shows. And so if you think it would be super cool to get on stage with other people and play music, you can go to Rock Camp Experience and sign up for a camp, and it's kind of a cool thing. You get to work with an instructor, usually somebody from a like proper band, like the instructors are all like professional musicians and professional music teachers, and they'll just create a gig, and you'll all decide that you're gonna spend the next 6 practices learning how to play a set of music by Neil Young or the Beatles or Johnny Cash or somebody, and then you'll get on stage and you'll play it in front of a big crowd of people. It's super fun. And I'm kind of a ringer that gets brought in sometimes to play in those bands when they're short an instrument, and be like, oh, we need somebody on bass, we need somebody on keys, we need somebody on drums, and I'll just come in and do it.
When I stayed in Minneapolis for the shoot of Witness Underground, I crashed for a few days with an old friend from my hometown named Sean Johnson. I don't know if you ever met him, but he was in a worldly band when I was growing up, and while I was also in a worldly band. What was I gonna say about him? Damn it. Oh, he worked for a while in Minneapolis at this place that does something similar, where they teach young kids to play basically, and then they perform live and become, minor rock stars for like other parents as the audience.
Yeah.
It seemed really cool. And like I walked in on some practices to say hi to him when I first got there, and I'd like hang out with him and hang out with his daughter while he was working for a couple hours or something. It was really fun, and it was so cool to see these like 12-year-old kids like rocking out and soloing on top of some like simple drum kit.
It's super cool. I actually think it's great, especially for kids.
Right.
The whole idea of having these kind of rock camps where you just like put instruments in people's hands and say go crazy. It's fun. like
Yeah.
from 5-year-olds. There's another one in the Twin Cities called She Rock that does these, and it's just really cool. I'm a huge fan of like having people just play music,
Yeah.
demystify it, right? Like
Right.
it's not like this like strange alien thing that people do. It's like, yeah, do you have fingers? Do you have instruments? Do you have some interest in, some idea how to combine the two things to make tonal noises? Then
Fingers
go,
plus instruments.
yeah, play in a band, just do a
Yeah.
show. So yeah, it's super fun. So that's what I do a lot. I don't really moonlight in too many other bands. Uh yeah, it's usually a favor. It's usually fun though. I did one recently. I played a what was it? Beatles. I played keys and
Oh,
sang.
cool. That's fun.
It was fun. What are you up to?
I'm so glad you asked. I have spent the last 5 nights delivering electronic materials to 2 film festivals. It has taken me all of Saturday, all of Sunday, all of last night. Like I've been pulling like all-nighters to like send people files that I have prepared, but they're all like, we want the poster in this pixel by this amount of pixels. We want your da da da. And it's like, seriously, can you guys not format these things? I'm sure every filmmaker's like, you got to be kidding me. But Portland Film Festival kicked off yesterday, so the very first day of a month-long festival, and that was cool. We had a party. Actually, Saturday was cool because it was Portland Film Festival has like an orientation night, and so like all these filmmakers jump on the Zoom call just like this, but it's like 60 or it was like 80, but there's like 300 films, but there was not everyone showed up, and then everyone had a chance to talk and say something about their film, like 2 minutes or something.
Mhm.
And then that was cool. And then last night was like a champagne like kickoff night, and they had like
Nice.
a live band out of Spain play over the Zoom call, which sounds
Cool.
awesome in theory. And they were interesting, like live piano, and she would like rap and also sing in English.
Mm-hmm.
And but the sound was awful.
Oh,
So that's I'm skeptical of these online concerts, the online concert concept. If it was
actually, I
nice.
mean, I was curious how you thought the sound came out of the online thing I did on Saturday,
You mean on
because
Thursday with our last podcast?
no, Saturday with the global concert for the
Oh,
uh
yeah. I
yeah,
watched
that
that. That's right.
Unchained
I was sitting
thing.
at this computer editing while that was going, and I was sitting my phone up on the monitor while it was playing. So I got the phone version of the experience.
Okay, so
Um,
I would be really curious if you could go and
it's online.
so
You can watch it.
yeah, you can
Yeah,
watch it,
yeah,
but I want you to kind of tell me what you think how do you think the audio turned out? Because I am not happy with it, and
yeah.
I set up 2 mics, a mixing board, and I had headphones, and it sounded really good.
To you.
Like, and so the signal going in was very good,
Yeah.
but the streaming platforms I think are
They're not made for
really
this.
optimized. They're super optimized towards voice.
For human voice only. One
Yeah,
voice. Yeah.
yeah, and they literally will take out all sorts of other sound. Like
Yeah,
they'll take,
they have this narrow mid band that they're like
yeah,
focusing on and cutting everything off. Have a
yeah.
filter
So
on
my
below
guitar
that.
just like disappeared. My voice is totally there, and in the actual mix going to the computer, they were really nicely mixed, and it
Yeah.
didn't really
Yeah,
work
no,
out.
I would say that was
I wonder
true
if
of
that band ran
everyone.
into a similar thing.
What's the similar?
The band that you were talking about,
Oh,
the
yeah,
Spanish band.
exactly. And I think they just had a laptop set on a table. Like it was,
Oh,
and they weren't even trying. You even tried. You have nice equipment. Um, but like was it Sound Yard or StreamYard, I think is the app that
StreamYard.
Shane
Yep,
uses for plug Life After Jehovah's Witnesses is the channel, I think is what it's called.
I
Life
believe that is
After.
correct. Life After, is that
So
a Facebook only thing, or is there a YouTube or other formats of
it
that?
is
I'm
on
not sure. I
Facebook
know.
and YouTube. Those are the two
Okay,
places that I
we
know
should
of.
talk to Shane sometime. I'd like to meet him.
Yeah, he's in New Zealand for.
Even
Oh,
better.
did you know? I didn't know this, but I talked to Shane after the show,
Hmm.
and the two women, young women who were like hosting the show,
Oh yeah,
Ella
right.
and someone else, I remember. Ella is his daughter. I didn't know that.
Oh really?
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, right.
No, I didn't know that either.
And she sings and did like a collab with one of the guys. that also
Oh,
played
nice.
that. Yeah. So it was like 5 hours long of music from around the world, and everyone had like 3 to 5 songs time slot. It was a cool
Hmm.
concept. I really liked it, and I
It
think
was really neat.
yeah, I think it went well, and they kept it like it felt like it kept moving. I mean, I was doing other stuff, so I wouldn't just like watch it specifically, but it was
And some of
nice.
it was pre-recorded. Some of it was performed live in
Yeah,
real time.
most of
They
it
did
was
little
live.
interviews with everybody. It was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
It was a neat event, and I was glad that I got a chance to play with it.
yeah.
It really would be cool to figure out if there's a good way to get that live concert feeling over streaming. That's a thing. Figure out.
You have to add 1,000 voices with their mics on to yell.
Perfect. Everybody unmute and scream at the same time. Make sure there's no way in hell anybody can tell what's going on here.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think you're right though. If they opened up that narrow voice bandwidth to be more all-encompassing, that would help a lot. And I don't think maybe there's settings you could like hack to make it fit what
There,
that thing goes.
there probably are, but I've derailed. You were saying something about the Portland Film Festival.
Mm.
You were saying they had like a launch party or something.
Yeah, so last night it was
How did
like
that work?
the director and programmer, one of the yeah, it's like a guy named Josh who's a director, and I can't remember the other guy's name who's a programmer. They sat in front of a gigantic screen with all the Zoom faces, including me on there, and cracked some champagne. And then they're like, "We've got 10 or who knows filmmakers who are going to talk to us," and there's cheersing, and it was like a very casual setting. It had a good vibe to it, but it was also like it was good. It was good in most ways. Like I think what's cool about Portland is I think more than any other film festival so far, they really want to help all the filmmakers get opportunities to get their voices heard and get their stories out.
Okay.
And so like they're just doing a lot. So I've got a couple things written. So tickets are already open. So if you want to like watch it for the audience.
Can you just I'm really honestly, two questions.
Yeah.
Can you watch it if you're not in the Portland area? And is it something you can watch anytime, or is there a specific scheduled time? If you buy the ticket?
I believe that if you're in the United States, there's limited tickets, but you can watch it. You can stream it right now. That's how I believe it is right now.
People keep asking me how they can see the thing, and I'm always like, meh. And so in this case, maybe the answer is the Portland Film Festival. Buy a ticket.
Yeah, it's $10 to them. Yeah.
All right.
And they use the Eventive platform, which is like basically a paywall for Vimeo, but it works really well, and it looks like Netflix or Amazon.
Fantastic.
So it's easy to navigate.
Cool.
So yeah, go to I can't remember the website name, but I'll put a link on the thing. And then if you click the link, like you drop down, there's like not box office, it's like watch movie is like the button, and then you can see all the movies. And if we're Witness Underground, so it's like at the very bottom, and then you see Cindy's face with the cool microphone. And yeah, they're a cool festival. So you can get tickets. The kickoff party. There's a couple of cool things. Last night they asked if anybody wanted to do a panel. They kind of had an open thing. Like if you want to talk about how to make a film, if you want to talk about your indie filmmaking process, if you want to talk about making a film on a budget, if you like any part of the process, you can like talk about it, grab some other filmmakers, see if they want to join you. You do your own thing. And so this one filmmaker, I'm in a class. There's 2 or 3 filmmakers from my class that I'm taking online called Film Festival Mastery. And it's not just about film festivals. There's a lot more to it. And they got into the festival as well. And so one of them, Cassidy Poling, has a film about the service industry and how that's changing and like what's morphing and what that life is like, which looks really interesting. But Cassidy Poling, I think, she reached out to ask me to join a panel with her. And like, so we're probably going to do a panel for an hour or something and a meet the directors kind of thing. Or maybe there's 2 separate things, panel and a directors, meet the director. Either way, there's like a bunch of things they're like, please offer to join. And that will be so good for your film. And we want to help organize this for you. Like they're really trying so hard to make it easy for the directors and filmmakers to like get their work out in the world meet a bigger audience. And they partnered with fucking Comcast.
I saw that you posted some video and it said something about Comcast Infinity, and I was curious what that was. I wanted to ask you
Xfinity.
that.
So I optioned not to allow our film on that because
Okay.
the tricky situation we were in is, yes, I want everyone in the world to see it, but film festivals are not the way for the whole world to see it. The film festivals are a way to get hype for your film in a region.
Okay. Yeah.
Traditionally, and COVID has is changing that. So this film festival is did a partnership with Xfinity, and Xfinity Comcast was like, listen, we won't do any deal. There's no financial gain for anyone, and it doesn't really make any viable sense to set up a whole thing if there's not at least a month. So they said, okay, we'll do a festival for a month then, since everything's online. And so the whole festival's for a month. You can't watch our film on Comcast Xfinity, but a lot of the films who don't care about getting distribution one day, they're on there. And they have different agendas. Like there's a doctor in Canada who made a film about Indigenous healthcare and what it's like for First Nations to get healthcare. And he's like, I don't care about money. I don't care. This is for a cause. I want as many people to see it as possible. So yes, sign us up for the 30 million people option with Comcast.
Makes sense.
So we went with Eventive, and we're like 200 people, mostly Northwest. But I don't know about the geo blocking, but it's limited ticket sales. But that's, if we give it away now, there's no option for distribution later.
Yeah.
So I have to do this business decision to limit it in this way. But also big news, I signed a contract 2 nights ago.
Okay.
For a distribution, what do you call it? A producer's rep is what this job is called. So he's a producer's rep. I'm paying him a large flat fee, but will hopefully be 10%, no more, of all the sale of the film. And the sale of the film will hopefully allow me to recoup all the costs that I have personally put in, and maybe pay me for some of my time, which would be nice. But the dream would be to fund the next film with that money if it comes back. But he has 99% distribution history.
Wow.
He sells films. That's his main thing, and he has all the contacts with every documentary distribution group that exists in this country.
So what you're saying is our odds are pretty good that the film's going to get distribution.
Yeah. And
that's awesome.
Yeah. And the cool thing is the contract had a whole thing about non-disclosure, and you can't talk about this deal. So I won't say the name of the company or the name of the guy, but I can tell you this. The guy...
Don't tell me anything you're not supposed to say. Don't fuck this up, Scott.
You know The Big Lebowski?
I do know The Big Lebowski, yes.
It's the guy who wrote, the guy that The Big Lebowski is really about. The real human being, the real Big Lebowski, is tied to
this is all Googleable, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Big Lebowski's
totally
gonna help us out.
That you signed the deal. I'm totally stoked you signed the deal. I hope we get the distribution. Well, I hope you get the distribution. It's your movie. I'm in the movie though. And I have an IMDb page. Oh my God, dude. Can I tell you how excited I was to discover that?
Oh yeah. Tell me. What do you got?
There's an IMDb. You probably set this up, but there's an IMDb
I did it.
page.
No. There's an IMDb page about, I think, this film that I didn't set up. I don't know.
Okay. So I was at work. I'm not kidding. I was logging in to work in the morning to do get on my morning team stand up, and I get my team on Slack because I run a software engineering team, and we are talking, and my Scrum Master says that her and her husband are super excited about coming to see Witness Underground, and they were just researching it, and they were looking for information online.
Yeah.
And she says her husband Scott was just Googling me and trying to find out stuff. And he's like, he's on a lot of stuff. There's a lot of podcasts and there's a whole bunch of stuff. And then he says he has an IMDb page. So she tells me this, and I didn't know that. And I'm like, no. She's like, yeah, you have an IMDb page. I'm like, what? And so she sends me the link, right? And I went look, and it's just Ryan Sutter 3. Apparently, Ryan Sutter 1 from The Bachelorette gets I don't know who Ryan Sutter 2 is. Ryan Sutter 3, me, and it says, actor known for appearance in Witness Underground. I'm like,
Nice.
oh, now I just need a Wikipedia article and I exist.
You're in the permanent record.
I am no longer a footnote. I am now an end note. So yeah, I was very, very stoked to find that there was an IMDb page for Witness Underground and that I was listed.
Very cool. You've arrived.
I'm good now. I'm good. We've accomplished everything that I ever hoped to accomplish with this project. That was it.
Exciting. Yeah.
I'm sure you had higher hopes, but mine was just to have an IMDb page.
Honestly, I tried to make an IMDb page
Mm-hmm.
and I hit wall after wall after wall. Like, this website is like broken. It looks like it was broken in 1997 or something. I don't understand. Apparently it's much better than it used to be.
I tried to claim my page so that I could, put, I don't know, a picture or write up a bio or something.
Did it work?
And it was like immediately hit a paywall that I need to buy IMDb Pro.
To add a photograph to, like, you're giving them information for free. That's how the internet works, right? Like, they want people to add things. And if they make it hard to add things, no one will add things.
But if you are a professional in the entertainment industry and you wish to maintain your presence about yourself, it's the tool that they use. And I mean, it's the one everybody references, right? Like, I use IMDb all the time. So yeah. I get it. It makes sense. Good. I understand why you would. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to buy an IMDb Pro thing. Maybe I'll wait till I'm in some second movie.
Yeah. That's when we hit a big time. Second movie.
Yeah. Second movie. I gotta get into Sequelville first.
That's what we're doing in November. Shooting a sequel.
What? That's what we're doing in November? Mm-hmm. Hey, I heard a rumor that High TV's practicing tonight.
Oh, wow.
It's their first practice for the November show.
That sounds about right.
Yep.
They've only had 4 other months.
Be nice.
You're right. No, I'm excited. That's going to be great.
They're going to kick ass. They only need 4 or 5 practices to be perfect.
I mean, they hadn't played in years, and we filmed the thing in your building, and it was awesome.
And that was not even with the whole band. That was with a totally different drummer, and I never played with them. So it worked out.
It worked out really well.
Yeah, but Peter Kenyon is back in the fold.
Oh, really?
And,
cool. Yeah, got Peter. Awesome.
Yeah, you got Peter.
That's a big deal.
The proper High TV, and they are out there rocking everybody's faces off in a secret place in Minneapolis right now, even as we speak. Wow.
Amazing. Very cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it.
That's so good.
We had because of that, we had to move our practice
forward
to earlier. Wednesday. So we had it yesterday.
Okay.
We've got I think we're at a 9-song set right now. So it's feeling pretty good. There's going to be some more stuff that's coming, but coming together, and we got a few new ones down yesterday, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, cool. So what are some of the highlights for you? What's feeling strong?
I was really, really stoked at how well Ostrich came off. That was
that's a great song.
We took that one on yesterday for the first time, and it was, with Awkward Bodies, we tend to play a lot more power pop and more, I don't know, discordant rock type stuff, and so we've been playing the odd selections from my catalog that fall into that category mostly, and so we hadn't sort of turned the distortion off and gone with something kind of that laid back kind of approach, and it came out really nice. We had I was really happy. We had that thing down in 2 takes, so that was cool. Overall, I mean, I'm feeling like we're really starting to come around to being able to play my songs and play them well, and I'm remembering chords. I mean, honestly, I don't know how to play almost anything I've ever written.
That's what happens when you play for no audience, and then you put it away on a shelf.
I mean, my process basically involves waking up in the morning and going, "Oh, there's a song," and then recording it, and then never touching it again. But then somebody else comes back and figures out the chords and tells me what they are. Thank you, Jesse.
It's nice to have artists that you work with who like can listen and just like, oh, it's the GCA, whatever, and then go play it
nice.
and knock it out.
It's nice. I mean, I can figure it out too, but frankly, I'm lazy, so I'd rather have somebody else do it. So that's cool. So, Portland Film Festival.
Oh, concert. I sent everyone in the film a message the other day about they are having 2 live concerts, streaming concerts. So we're going to try this again they have like 60 music videos in the festival. Of the 300 films, 60 of them are music videos. So a lot of short films.
Oh, so you're talking about Portland. So Portland
Film Festival is doing a thing. And it's next Thursday on your practice night. And do you want to play?
Oh, geez.
Or is it next Wednesday? I can't remember. I sent you an email. It has 2 dates. But it's live. It's free for everyone, with whether you have a film festival ticket or not, or you're in it or not. Everyone in the world can watch this live concert for free. So it's like a really cool exposure thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you should at least play one song or two, you know? I figured that you'd be like most game for it, but if it's your practice band night, I wrote to Diane, the festival like operator person who's in charge of a lot of organization. She wrote inviting all of the bands and artists in Witness Underground to play.
Oh, fantastic. No, I didn't see. I'm still looking. I'm looking for your email and I'm still not. Oh, there it is. Diane and Scott. Sorry, I got the email up here. This other screen.
What are the dates so people can tune in?
2 live virtual performances, October 20th and 28th from 7 to 9. We will connect with the artist via StreamYard and broadcast the performance on social media, Music Fest, and our website. We aren't charging for these shows. It's the first time we're trying this.
So it's next. I think we can make this week. Work. It's in 2 weeks and 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think this is a great idea. I think
you can definitely try out your acoustic solo thing. That would be like an easy, low effort. Like you don't have to have a lot of people involved. But what would it be like to have a whole band play? Like, could you do that through a laptop?
I think we could do it. We
have a mixer person mix it down.
In our practice space, we always track all the instruments like into separate channels. So if we could stream those from the practice space, we could do it. Yeah. I have to run this by the other bandmates, but I didn't see this email until now. So this is cool. Yeah, right? I think we can make it work.
Cool.
That's interesting.
Are you guys still doing Thursday band practice or Wednesday? Because 20th is a Wednesday.
We had to move it to Wednesday this week. I'm not sure what we're gonna do, but we'll make it work somehow. And then the other thing that Mason was talking about the possibility of having us get an in-studio date at one of the local radio stations too.
Cool. Wow. Yeah. Which radio station?
He thought he could get us in at the Current, but I don't know yet for sure. Yeah. I mean, Mason's a DJ on a radio station and he's on a show with Barb Avenue. He used to be on the Current. And, you know, if Mason says we can probably get a live set in studio on the Current, we'll probably take it. And if we can't, we can't. I haven't spoken to anybody at the Current, so I don't know.
So Jim Brunel, who is the director of Sound Unseen, I wrote him asking for good media outlets to just get some attention up to now the tickets are on sale. And I asked about KFAI and the Current 93.3. And he said those are the 2 top places to go first. And they also have a good list on their Film Freeway page of like other places that they often go to for press.
Also Radio K.
Radio K, right. I used to listen to them when I lived there.
Yeah, that's the shit. And Mason does the morning drive in KFAI and he's in our set. So KFAI's in. Cool. The question really just boils down to what else we can do beyond KFAI. And I think not that there's anything beyond KFAI. It's a great station. But I think it would be something we'll probably try to do. I think this would be another great thing. I think we should definitely have a couple of online broadcasty situations and see how we can make that work. The only thing I'm concerned about is whether we can do it from a practice space or not.
How cool would that be? Like you're already set up, you have the whole band, and you're already like mixing it down through
Yeah, but
all
we
the
don't
different
have any
instruments.
internet in that space.
Ah,
We
like
only have
streaming over
like
a phone.
yeah, we basically have a phone
Hotspot.
Wi-Fi hotspot.
Yeah.
But we could maybe do it here.
Hmm. Have a practice here and you could go for two
Yeah,
studio.
we could be down here in the basement studio, and we could set up some cameras and OBS studio or something where we could cut between them. We could actually make a thing out of it. It'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. It would look like oh, what's Tiny Desk? No, is that
Yes, it would be like a tiny desk concert. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We could
Or
do a tiny desk concert here.
there's like another radio station, like four letters, like KEXP, or is that
KEXP. Yep.
KXP? Yeah, like you have the
XP.
library bookshelves for it. Like it makes sense.
Right? Yeah. I know. Looks great. It's a great backdrop.
It's perfect.
Yeah, I also have other things in here.
You look like a scholar.
Very exciting. We got some guitars. We have some Nintendos, some drums. We have Rhett's statue over there.
Oh,
See that? That's gonna be on stage with us in November.
sweet. What does it signify? Where did it come from? Did he make it?
He made it. Signifies him because it was a sculpture he made of himself in a class, and I recently came into possession of it.
Nice.
And I was very excited about it because I was standing next to him when he sculpted it in the first place. So it's pretty cool. So it's gonna be our mascot. I don't know how Rhett would feel about being called a mascot, but his statue of himself is going to be on stage with us. So it's gonna be
Very
awesome.
cool. He's here with us in spirit.
Yeah, I think he would think this was pretty cool. As far as this space goes, using this, sorry, I'm just trying to get my camera back where it was. That's close enough.
That's pretty good.
I think that I'm gonna take this up with the band right away.
Cool.
We'll see if we can make a StreamYard thing happen. Hopefully you can get the fucking audio right this time.
Well, you can try, right?
I mean, if StreamYard can do it, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
That would be ideal. Cool. I'm glad you brought that up. Is there anything else I missed?
Let's see. The other things that are going are. Well, I want to talk about four things. There's two more film festivals. I'll just briefly mention them, and then Reddit, Patreon, and the vinyl. So I want to get into all that stuff. The first two things are the festivals. Da Vinci International Film Festival. I finished delivering all the files to them this morning.
Where's that?
It's based here in LA, actually. It's our first West Coast, or I guess second West Coast, but first California Fest.
Cool.
But we're virtual. They're virtual only. They have their own platform. I don't know how it works yet. It's the 10th to the 15th, so it's like in 3 days they're starting the stream. And we weren't officially selected. They picked us up at the end, right just at the very end of their notifications, and they'd like to bring us on as an honorable mention, which is awesome in a way. I think they might have just had all their slots full or something for their main selection.
They decided they had to squeeze us in because we were just so damn good.
Yeah.
Okay. Love it. Love it.
So that's 5 days.
Thank you, Da Vinci.
California only.
Okay.
And their sponsors are really good and they look reputable, but they're pretty new. It's their 4th year. So they're not well known in the industry, and there's a lot of industry here. So they haven't popped up on the radar for the local industry people, apparently. That's what I've been told. But
well, cool. As long as some people watch the movie there, that's good enough.
That's the most important. Yeah, to get some exposure. And then the other one is in Atlanta, or in Georgia, near Atlanta. It's called Peachtree Village. It's a neighborhood of Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
Peachtree Village International Film Festival. And that'll be, I think, a Southeast regional festival. So if you're in like Florida, South Carolina, maybe North Carolina, and Georgia, probably something like that. I haven't defined that with them yet, because I have to help decide how large the region should be and how limited the ticket sales should be. But usually it's like 200 tickets for like a limited region is pretty normal.
This whole thing is kind of a weird experience, like all these like little showings where a few hundred people get to see the movie, and other people are like, how do we see the movie? And we're like, well, you just have to live in Georgia, you know. It's strange.
It is strange, but the thing they're trying to simulate is that the pandemic has thrown a wrench in every standard thing that's existed for 100 years. Like some of these festivals are like 60 years old, 50, 60, 70 years old, and some of them are 20, but like the standard has been, we're showing movies in this one theater one time each over a course of 5 days.
Sure.
Show up or don't. And like if you do, it's because you love films or you support that particular filmmaker or you care about that story. And so they're trying to simulate that on the internet. And it's like, well, should we show the whole internet? And they're like, no, we're trying to sell the movie. And like, if you show the whole internet for 5 days. So
right. Yeah. Yeah. Because otherwise, I mean, you might as well just upload your thing on YouTube and be
exactly
done, right.
And that's what they're trying to avoid, is being like so similar to YouTube that you might as well have done that and given your film away for free. And it's like, is it even secure? Like you can put something on YouTube and in 2 minutes it's ripped by someone and printed on a DVD and sold in a market. Yeah. And once it's out or once it's copied, then like there's no possible future for your career if you spent 3 years making a movie like we did. So it's a tricky thing to balance, and they usually do limited screenings or one screening.
And I think that makes all the sense in the world. Like I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying it's kind of a funny.
Yeah,
it's kind of a funny process, right? Like, and it's like, I like it because I kind of like the idea that there's some scarcity and it's kind of special, and it's not just, you can't just go see it. You can't just go do it. It's like, you have to make a little bit of an effort, at least for now. Eventually you'll be able to throw it into your binge watching queue with everything else, but it's just cool.
But here you're just along for the ride. And it's very complicated.
It's a complicated ride.
Probably the coolest first thing that happened was when we screened virtually in Wisconsin for the Wisconsin Film Fest. They I was like, is this it? I don't know. Like, I just showed it to my friends, and this isn't like a real festival experience. And I didn't meet any other filmmakers at all. Well, we met Gracie at the cafe, but it was just so weird. But then we got the Tone Madison music review by Steven Sporel, the music editor at Tone Madison. And it was amazing. And I felt so good about like, oh, press lasts, like a written material lasts forever, or lasts for a while anyways, a lifetime of a film. And it just,
did we get any other good reviews out of the last couple festivals?
When we were in Manhattan, we got the Film Threat review.
Right.
That was by also a former Christian out of the Southeast. I can't remember his name at the moment, but you can see his name on the Film Threat review for Witness Underground. And that was a really, really well done review. I don't know if you read that through that one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I read that. Yeah.
That was cool. We got great radio and podcast interviews in New York.
And then
Vision and Myth Vision by Derek. I can't remember his name at the moment. Derek, and then Javier and Joe Mitchell and Javier Ortiz of Nobody Asked Us to Do This podcast, an ex Jehovah's Witness podcast. What else we get on? Oh, we got on Music of Mind Control in WFMU in New York. That was fun.
Really cool.
Yeah,
that was
really like
cool.
that.
Yeah, they did like an hour-long special about Nuclear Gopher, which made me happy.
That was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then K-Piss was like such a great highlight and then having the DJ come down to the show.
That was so cool.
And party with us until 4 a.m.
Man, that was a fun night.
That was amazing.
I'm looking forward to some more fun nights. I mean, November's going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread.
I fully expect to party with you for an entire week.
I will do my best to not disappoint.
Cool.
I still have a job, but that's okay. They know about this.
Yeah.
Sort of. I was checking to see if Witness Underground's on Rotten Tomatoes yet, and we're not there yet. So
what was cool is
a way to go.
Yesterday was the kickoff of Portland Film Festival, and I posted at midnight on Reddit, on the XGW Reddit, the trailer, and I posted. I made a new film. I made a new video for Portland. And
I noticed there was a new trailer, that Comcast Xfinity one, right?
Yeah. That was fun because I actually wrote on I still have, I erased it. I wrote on this little whiteboard, like what scenes from all 5 of you in the film would make for like a great video. And I started writing down scenes and I was like, man, I've cut this into, is this in the trailer? This isn't in the trailer. And I was like, oh, I made 2 teasers in September and January, teaser 1 and teaser 2, before I hired a real trailer editor. And I was like, I haven't used those for anything. And this is every scene I'm writing down.
That's what you did. Okay. I thought it seemed familiar, but I wasn't sure. You should include that in this podcast when you have
yeah. This is Scott Homan, director of Witness Underground.
And I am Ryan Sutter, the proprietor of Nuclear Gopher Productions.
Our God will thoroughly cleanse the land. To be able to find a group of people within a religion as strict as that one was amazing.
I was so scared. I was going to lose my family, I was going to lose my whole identity if I came to the conclusion that this wasn't for me.
I miss my little community. I even miss feeling like there was a God that always knew how sincere I was. Kind of miss that, but wanting it doesn't make it so.
I'm here because I'm a musician, artist, and also the co-founder of a Jehovah's Witness independent record label back in the 90s called Nuclear Gopher, which is the source of much of what is covered in the documentary.
Such a cool thing to be able to make something that celebrates what we had inside and what we have on the outside and tell the story that we thought was missing in the world. Yeah, maybe I'll put it at the beginning.
Include this trailer because that was cool. I liked seeing another trailer. It was just fun. I mean, the truth is that one thing that would be fun to do, I don't know how much energy or time we have or you have for this, but I think it would be very cool to make more variations of media, not different format sizes like you were talking about for earlier, but like
there's like no art to that.
Some different, I don't know, like
I'm a little over it.
Different poster designs, different trailers, different kinds of things, like just to keep it kind of fresh and see if there's different ways to make I don't know. It would just be fun.
I have two other posters. One's a Rhett poster and one's a Cindy Eric poster. I don't know if you saw those.
I don't know if I did either.
I hired people on Fiverr and I gave them like cues, like I want this to be, this is rock and roll. Here's the couple images and like cut them up, make something. And I gave a lot of freedom, but I was like, think like big rock, dark themes. And they got like a very Pink Floyd looking poster with like Eric and Cindy facing each other, both playing a guitar. They look like rock gods from space.
Oh, that's cool.
It's cool. And I posted it on Twitter, and the only person who commented was, "These look like washed up middle-aged musicians who didn't make it, and they work at like some convenience store." And I was like, "That's not what I was going for." But the guy was kind of a dick.
Is this on WU the Film Twitter?
I think it was on the XJWDOC one.
XJWDOC?
Yeah.
I want to look this up.
It was pretty funny. But
how long ago was this? Why did I not see this?
This is like October, like a year ago now.
Okay.
Maybe 9 months ago. But that one could use some help. And then the one with Red is the really cool poster when he has like the flip up, like John Lennon glasses, and he's playing like two different keyboard synthesizers simultaneously.
Right. Yeah. That's the cover of the Levone Spectacle for Compassionate Minds.
Yeah, it's a great image, and I wanted to use
playing
that
an Oberheim. That was from my. I took that as a high school photo class picture.
Nice. It's a great photo. I like it.
Thank you. There's another Red thing I want to show you. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna show you something awesome.